We do want to go back to that breaking news. Officials in Pawtucket, Rhode Island are now giving that update on the ice rink shooting at a high school hockey game. Let's listen in.
Right now is the Pawtucket police received a call at about 2:28, 2:30 this afternoon that we had an active shooter at Lynch Arena. Upon arrival, police were met with several people obviously inside the arena, and there was 2 casualties within the arena. The suspect was confirmed as one of those casualties. Later on, we learned that another casualty from the shooting was at the hospital, that they succumbed to their injuries after being at the hospital, and there is 3 additional victims at the hospital that all are in critical condition at this time. It appears that this was a targeted event, that it may be a family dispute. We cannot release the names of the victims because obviously we want to speak to the family, make sure that the family is well aware of what happened before we release that information publicly. We had assistance from multiple police departments that came in to assist, to offer their assistance. Obviously, the Attorney General is also there with us now going over the crime scene. We had several people in the building, so we are talking to them. So we're trying to put together the story and the timeline of what happened.
Did this happen in the stands? Can you just describe the layout in there and where this all took place?
So because we're in the initial stages of the investigation, I can't get into detail. Obviously, we're still investigating that. We're talking to all the witnesses. Like I said, there were several people within the Lynch Arena because it was a high school hockey game. So we're talking to all those witnesses. We have several witnesses that were here, and then some that we have brought to the police station where we're talking to them there. We also were able to take everybody inside the building, and we reunified them with their families down by Walgreens. We used RIPTA buses to be able to reunite those kids and people in the stands with their families.
Was the shooter related to the other victims? You said a family dispute.
Yes, so because it's a family dispute, I don't know the relationship exactly at this point because it's still initial, but yes, it is family related.
Are you releasing any other information about the other victims, whether it's critical, juvenile, adults, any other?
Not at this time until we speak to the families and we get more information.
But the mayor said it was a young girl. Is that correct or not correct?
It was a female.
Just a female's all you're saying, no age.
Yeah, no age. We don't know.
Chief, dedicated from NBC 10, can you confirm that the victim is actually the daughter of the suspect?
Okay, so I'm not going to confirm who actually is the casualties at this point because, again, we want to speak to the families and make sure.
Now, I don't know if y'all heard that, but reporters said, can you confirm that the victim is the daughter of the suspect?
Families are well aware of what happened before we release any information. Again, we're still only at the initial stages. It only happened at 2:30 this afternoon. Again, we went in, like I said, there were several people in there. We have several witnesses that are at the station. So we're going to put it together a story before we release information to make sure that the information's put out there is accurate and correct and there's nobody.
Chief, the 4 victims were hospitalized. Were they hospitalized because they may have been trampled or pushed down, but they actually were not shot?
No, so we have, we have 3 deceased victims, right? We have 3 deceased, the suspect, and then we have 2 victims. And then we have 3 at the hospital that were part of the incident that, no, they were not trampled, that they were shot. Yes. I'm sorry, there's multiple people.
Oh, good.
So what I can say right now.
Now we got the gist of this. Let's go over to this next video. Now, this next video is just a overview of the scene, just so we can. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing just to see a breakdown of what the scene was looking like at the time. But let's go over into the AI breakdown, just to give us a little bit more information about this whole thing. So as we know, so on Monday, so today, a tragic shooting occurred during a high school hockey game at Dennis M. Lynch Arena in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Casualties, 3 people are dead, including the suspected gunman. 1 victim has been identified as a young girl. 3 other individuals were critically injured and transported to a local hospital. Authorities believe the shooter died from a self-inflicted gun wound. Police have stated that they are not searching for any suspects. So the preliminary investigation by Pawtucket suggests the attack was targeted and may have stemmed from a family dispute. So the shooter took place during a co-op game involving several schools, including all those schools. I'm not even trying to read them all. School officials from the participating districts have confirmed that the students and staff are safe and accounted for. Live stream footage shows players and spectators fleeing the ice and stands as shots rang out. Families and players were later evacuated by bus. So, based on the preliminary reports, we know that it stemmed from a family dispute. So, police chief stated that the incident was not random act of violence, but an isolated, targeted event directed at specific individuals. Law enforcement sources indicate that the gunman specifically targeted members of his own family during the high school senior night game. Reports from WPRI 12 News identified the victims as family members of a high school senior playing in the game. The student's mother was killed at the rink, and the sister later died at the hospital. The shooter was the father of one of the students participating in the game. He died at the scene from self-inflicted gun wounds. While the general cause has been identified as domestic abuse, police are still interviewing witnesses and reviewing the arena game live stream to establish a full timeline of the events. Wow. There are some demons in this world, y'all. So just to break down what we heard, so we know that the shooter was the father. At least that's what they're saying right now. The shooter was the father, and the two people who died was the mother and the sister. And it looks like the son was the one participating in the game. I say this all the time. What was going through the father's mind when he went through and killed all of them, or killed the mother and the sister, or his daughter? Some people will blame it to mental health. Some people might say it's just craziness. What do you think? The world can be a dark place, y'all. The world can be a very dark place. But we got to review the world together. Let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. We got to pray for people. We got to pray for people. But sometimes it feels like it doesn't even work. Or